All right. Hello, Samantha.
Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Leading with Body Intelligence. It's a pleasure to have you with me.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You and I have been working together for a while now with somatic awareness, and we're going to get to that in a moment. Before we do, would you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
Yes, hi, my name is Samantha. I live in Madison, Wisconsin, where we do imaging on mainly parts for aerospace and defense. A stressful job at times, and Jennifer has really helped me come up with ways to cope with the stress involved, and not so much just in the job, but just in everyday life.
Yeah, yeah. And you have just done a really tremendous job of applying this in your life.
Hmm.
And that takes a lot of curiosity and practice, which you hear me use those two words quite a lot.
Yep.
But it works.
It does work. It does work. Yes.
And so, Samantha, about how long would you say that we have been working together?
Has it been, has it been 6 months?
That's what I was thinking,
Okay.
about 6 months. So,
Yeah.
and you have come such a long distance
Yes.
in those 6 months. Can you describe for our audience what life was like for you before somatic awareness and what it's like now that you have a somatic awareness toolkit?
Yes. I would have to say, life was so much more stressful before I learned about this. It was so bad to the point where I would have to just get up and leave a room full of people to go somewhere and just shut down and cry, or I would find myself lashing out, or yeah, lashing out, crying. I mean, it wasn't all the time. I don't mean to make myself
Mhm.
sound like a total basket case, but uh, yeah, it was. Oh, and then just so much regret. It was like I never took the time to just sit back and look at my behavior from the outside. And I would say within the last 6 months that I use it every day. Um,
Mhm.
just I before I react, I take a deep breath, sometimes look at something that makes me happy, whether that be my kids, my dogs, my cats, a pool, a beach, anything. And then I just sit back and look at myself from the outside before I react to things. And the way I react is so different now. And I
Mhm.
don't get so worked up and then look back and regret how, oh God, how could I have said that? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? I'm just not getting to that point anymore because I'm able to take a look at myself from the outside before that happens. And I just feel so much better, feel so much better about myself. Because in reality, all of the worrying, reacting, it got me nowhere.
Mhm. You mentioned that other people, in a prior conversation that we had, other people are noticing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what are you
Yes.
hearing from folks? What are they
You know,
noticing?
I've had compliments like, "Oh, I can't believe the way that you were talked to in that meeting, and how did you keep it together?" And all I could and I just said, "It's somatic awareness. What good would it do? What good would
Hmm.
it do to react?" And it's not gonna do anything. It's gonna do nothing but upset me more. caused me to shut down, regret everything later, think about it all night long.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's, I've had many people notice just the improvement over the last few months.
That's great. And I'm so happy that they are letting you know that they're noticing.
Yes, and they're doing it in such a positive manner too, which is
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We worked with the 3N model: notice, name, and navigate. Can you walk our audience through the experience of that, beginning with noticing? Because that's the most important part, to notice when we're about to react.
Mhm.
And I've heard you mention that a few different times now, that before you reacted.
Mhm.
So take us back to before you reacted. What did you notice?
Um, I used to, I could feel my heart beating rapidly, my
Hmm.
palms sweating, um, instant tears forming. And now, if I feel any of that coming on, I just take a deep breath and I look at myself from the outside and it just stops. I'm able to use the tools that things that I've been working on to
Hmm.
stop that from snowballing. Like the
Yes.
snowball effect it is no longer. It's
Hmm.
stopped.
How has that affected you in terms of your leadership role, your performance, making decisions, those
Oh,
sorts of things?
it's it's been just so much better. I feel so much more clear-headed
Clear-headed.
and confident.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I definitely clear-headed, confident, and just less stressed.
Less stressed.
Less stressed. I mean, when
Oh,
it all comes down to it, we all want less stress in our lives. And
mhm.
yeah, it's it's night and day compared to where I was
Yeah.
6 months ago.
Yeah. I'm so glad.
Me too.
Less stress, more energy.
Yes, yes. I have
Mhm.
more energy. I'm sleeping better. That's a big thing.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, because it just doesn't do any good. Worrying about something for 6 hours is gonna accomplish nothing.
Yeah, it
Where before
takes
I
a
couldn't see
toll.
that. Yeah,
Mhm, mhm. So before you couldn't see that, and now your eyes have been open.
absolutely.
Okay. Had you ever heard of somatic awareness before
Mm,
you and I worked together?
I had never heard of it
Mhm.
ever. Yeah, it was definitely something that we need to hear more about.
Yes, yes, that's why I'm on a mission to make it known as an essential leadership skill. People
Yeah,
know about, emotional intelligence. That's essential, and this somatic awareness is essential too. Very
absolutely.
much so. Walk us through. So you had never heard of somatic awareness before.
No.
What was it like when I brought that topic into our work together?
I had no idea what it was right when we started, and I was a little hesitant about it, like thinking,
Mhm.
is this really gonna work?
Mhm.
Um, and it clearly worked. And but yeah, I mean, just because I'd never heard of it, I wasn't sure. Anytime we all try new things, we're a little hesitant,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to looking at yourself and
Mhm.
and trying
Mhm.
to fix yourself. Yeah. So I have to say, I was hesitant at first, and now I'm a true believer in it.
At what point did your hesitation begin to subside and you realized, hey, there's something to this? It's working.
It didn't take long for me to start. I would say maybe after a month or 2
Mm-hmm.
where I could feel like, "Hey, this is working. Like, this is helping." Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then just to continue to use the tools given. Um, yeah, I feel like it's kind of or it is um, it's a lifelong opportunity.
Yes. I like the way you said that. It is a lifelong opportunity
Yeah.
as we practice and we stay curious about ourselves because this is definitely not a one and done. And
No,
some days are better than others, practicing
absolutely.
our tools. And some days, especially when our capacity has decreased because of stress,
Mhm.
it takes, then we are not quite as attuned to noticing, and we might, you know, react in ways that we don't mean to.
Sure.
Can you tell us about maybe a time where that has been the case for you along this journey and how you've been able to be compassionate with yourself and then, get back on track?
Yeah, if I've ever had a day where I definitely where I was not using my tools,
Hmm.
um, I yeah, I was able to get back on track so fast. I mean, in the past, this is something that would have hung on for days and days, and yeah, I use the tools, helps me get to sleep at night, and yeah, and then just start back up the next day. Just kind of like if you're on a diet or a health food mission and you fail one day, that's okay. You can start again tomorrow.
Okay. So getting back on track for you looks like starting a new day the next
Yeah,
day. Okay.
absolutely.
All
Yeah.
right. Do you find, and I'm going to ask you this because I've had other clients refer to it this way as a reset that they can do in real time in a
Yeah.
moment where they feel like, it's getting really stressful and they're about to react
Hmm.
and they don't because they can course correct in the moment and
Yes.
then kind of purge those feelings so they don't have to carry that with them the rest of the day. Have you had any experiences like that? And if
Yes, I
so, can
have.
you tell us about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, I think was it last week? Had a stressful day and I reacted more than I have in a while. And um, I, right after the call I was on, I was able to I went for a walk to clear my head, which is something I never took the time to do before because I have so much to do. I don't have time
Yeah.
for that. Well, I was able to just go for a 15-minute walk, just hit the reset button and let it go. I was able to
Hmm.
let it go and just start over right there.
Okay. What did it feel like inside when you did that?
Oh, so much better. And because I did react, I couldn't believe just how sick I felt about it.
Uh-huh.
And just within that time where I was not using my tools. And
Yeah.
yeah, just that awful feeling of just being alone in your thoughts. And I was not looking at myself from the outside.
Hmm. And can you contrast that for us at the moment you started feeling better? What did that feel like?
Oh, it's just that nauseous, sweaty palm feeling. All of it went away.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, rapid heartbeat. Yep,
Hmm.
it was gone.
Yeah. Did you just feel
Yeah.
was it I'm going to use the word calm. Does that
Hmm.
resonate? Did you
Yeah,
just,
brought a
feel
sense of
calm
calm.
inside? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. What would you, if you were to encounter a leader who had never heard of somatic awareness,
Hmm.
and now that you have practiced these skills and are applying them in your personal and professional life,
Hmm.
what would you tell them in terms of how they can benefit from learning about this skill and applying it?
I would tell them number one, give it a shot. Um, yeah, just I try it, learn about it, try it. It's not going to happen overnight. Um, give it, yeah, just give it some time, and it is going to help the stress level. It's going to help the relationships. It's going to help them work with a clearer mind, focus. Um, yeah, I guess that those are the major points that I would try to emphasize.
Yeah. And how do you see yourself going forward with this skill set, this new relationship that you have with yourself?
Oh, it's so great. Um, I see good things. I kind of before just felt kind of stuck, a lot less confident, and now I'm feeling much more like I am capable of doing more if I want to. If there's something I want to do, I should go for it. Um, yeah.
And how do you see that shaping your role as a leader and just in your career in general?
It's fantastic for the current role that I'm in. Um, I I I am capable of growth, so
Mhm.
it's it's just really going to help. It's going to help me be confident, more confident with customers because I'm more confident with myself,
Mhm.
uh, and it's helped my relationships so much.
Yeah. Can you
Um,
what's the number one way that it's helped your relationships?
um, I don't want to say that anyone was ever afraid of me, but um, it's it's definitely when I used to get like that, when I would react and
Mhm.
be so emotional, um, people were afraid to talk to me about it. Now, if I react, it's so much more mild, and people actually joke with me about it. Like, "Oh, you're much better than you were 5 minutes ago." I know, right? Like, just yeah. Whereas before, they'd be like, "Is it safe to talk to her yet?" Yeah. Yeah.
And have you found that these tools have been effective maybe when someone else is activated
Yes.
and applying these tools for co-regulation to reach a place of calm
Mhm.
for multiple parties? Can you tell us about that?
Oh, sure. Are you kind of asking, if someone else were to be reacting, um, without I try to help them by, "Hey, you wanna go take a walk?" Like, or if it's someone I know well, I'll be like, "Hey, do you wanna show me a picture of your favorite, like, what's your favorite picture? Where's your favorite picture of your dog or your cat?" Or, "Oh, let me see a picture of your baby." That was something I used, and it was just totally distracted them, and we talked and thought about other things to make just to put things in perspective of what's important, what's really important, and what's
Yeah.
not.
So do you feel like that your capacity to be present with other people, and I already know you're a very caring person,
Mhm.
but your capacity to be present and care for someone in a difficult emotional state, has somatic awareness help increase that for you.
Absolutely. Oh, yes, so much. I can
Mhm.
better understand how people are feeling
Yeah.
and why they're reacting.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's giving me tools to help them as well.
Yes. That's one of the many things I love about this skill is that it's so accessible. And I often have leaders tell me that after they've been using it, that, hey, I'm teaching my team too. And
Hmm.
it's helping the team as a whole.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Mhm. Have you lost anything in terms of productivity as a result of practicing this
No,
skill?
not at all. I've become more productive um, with with less energy. Does that make sense? I'm expending less energy, but I become more productive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That
100%.
makes yep. And I hear other people say that too, and I think it has to do with that we are channeling our energy
Yes.
in healthier ways into things that we have control of, which is ourselves, rather than expending it in areas that we don't have control of. And when we do that, we grow frustration in our own lives because where energy goes, that's what grows.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else that you want to share with our listeners about your experience with applying somatic awareness, even, at work, at home, anywhere that anything that you want to add?
No, just try it. It's a
Try
life
it.
changer.
It's life
It's
changing.
Yeah, it is. It's something that's gonna it'll help you sleep better at night and get through your days.